Yo, what's up guys, your boy Max here and welcome back to another video. So in this video I finally decided to put together the 1 week progression of me switching from controller to keyboard and mouse and from PS4 to PC, and it's been an absolute blast just working on this little project, and it's something that I'm going to be doing more of in the future. Maybe I'll do a 1 month progression, but we'll just see how this video does and go from there. But anyways guys, let's jump into some of the courses that I started off using when I first switched to keyboard and mouse, and let's get into it. Okay, so these are the maps I've been using to actually train myself in creative. So first off, I was using the Shotgun Aim Facility 2.0 by Selage. Then we go over here. I actually played a lot of clicks box fights with my friends and people I've met on Discord, but I'll show that later on in the video. As well as that, I've done some zone wars, but I don't know, it's just not the same anymore. Then I've also been doing the Editing Dictionary by Flea, an absolutely amazing map. I definitely suggest you check that one out. And as well as that, I've just been cranking in creative, literally just free building in my own island. I've literally set up like a just an empty grid, and I was literally just cranking in there and trying to get used to my new binds. Alright, so when I actually first went onto keyboard and mouse, my sensitivity was super high, and I for a start thought that it was super low. I honestly didn't know what was going on, to be honest, but I found my edits to pretty much be flawless from the start, and I could nearly pretty much pull off triple edits within the first 2 days of me being on keyboard and mouse, and that was pretty weird. And I was like, does it really take that much effort to get good on it? And for those of you that don't know, I was playing on 1000 DPI and 29% in game, which is like nearly double Mr. Savage's sense, and you've seen how high Mr. Savage's sense is. But I just aimed with my wrist. I don't have too much space for my mousepad. It's something like 32 by 27 centimeters, and it's the Logitech QCK if I'm not wrong. I always get the 3 letters messed up, but I hope that you guys know what I'm talking about. It's one of the better sort of mouse pads, and it's been chosen by a lot of esports players. But anyways, that's besides the point, and let's get back to the progression. So within the first few days, I really found myself struggling with my aim, and now I know why. I pretty much just had a super high sense and I could not control it, even though you will see some nice shots just because I was getting super used to it. I kind of just practiced it in creative so much that I was actually hitting shots on a sense that is meant to be very ridiculous and just not usable whatsoever. But thanks to its Jerian, I was able to figure out the fact that I was playing just at a super high sense once again, and I was able to switch it bit by bit from 1000 DPI and 29% in game to around 800 DPI and 15.2% in game at this point. So I went down by a whole more than 100 eDPI, which is absolutely huge. In my first week of playing on keyboard and mouse, I was also using the Logitech M215, which is a desktop mouse that I had from around 7 years ago, and I definitely knew that I had to change it. Honestly, I didn't have like any plans to switch to keyboard at first when I actually bought the PC, but I discovered that controller drift is just gonna be the end of me, because I pretty much will have to get controllers every 4 or 5 months if I want to be able to get rid of that annoying drift and actually be able to enjoy the game. But also I figured that I kind of want a new challenge, and that's pretty much the reason why I switched. But anyways, as I was saying, the Logitech M215 was my main mouse for the first week of playing, and I've only got the Razer Viper Mini very recently, which is actually a very solid mouse for what you're paying. Only £40 for me, and the mouse is just absolutely amazing, so I definitely suggest you guys look into buying that if you are looking to switch to keyboard and mouse. And also my keyboard was the Red Dragon K552, I'm pretty sure. A nice cheap little mechanical keyboard. I think it's a 60 or 65% keyboard. I'm not sure what they're called, but it's very good, and once again I suggest you look into buying that if you want to switch. Anyways though, when I started playing on keyboard and mouse, I knew that I had to get my muscle memory redone pretty much, because Switching from controller to keyboard and mouse is just a whole nother level of messing up your muscle memory, and you need to be put under pressure a lot if you want to improve on these, new binds and new settings fast. And that's what I did. I pretty much went into a bunch of box fights with my friends and just random people that I met on Discord. A lot of them actually turned out to be nice, and shout out to all of you if you are watching this. Because I did actually hit some of you guys up and say that you're going to be in the video, so big shout out to you lot and all that good stuff. But anyways, this is pretty much all of the equipment I used to start playing on keyboard and mouse, and let's actually get into more of the practices that I did to improve myself as a player. So first off, as you can see, and as you have been seeing from the few minutes of past gameplay, I've pretty much went into a bunch of box fights and just tried myself out. As expected, that didn't go too well, but I actually found myself winning rounds, and that's because I actually put in hours and hours of editing practice and aim practice. As I said in the beginning of the video, throughout those courses I pretty much just kept doing them every single day for like an hour or two, or sometimes even 3 or 4, and honestly it was actually not as tedious as you think. I never used to be a big fan of creative, and I didn't really like doing all these courses and stuff like that, because I just would barely see any improvement on console, because I think I pretty much hit my skill ceiling and I kind of plateaued on there. But on keyboard and mouse, honestly it was just a absolutely amazing process, and I could tell that I'm improving every single day, and it was very, very nice to see. After a long 20+ hours spent in creative, I thought it was finally time to jump into some squads with my friends. And honestly, it didn't go too bad. I was getting into the double digits for my kills every now and then, and that was very surprising. But I guess it's just the squad's skill-based matchmaking that was very soft, because they are tweaking it now, and you can genuinely feel the difference between the skill-based matchmaking and solos and duos and squads. Squads is just way better, and I found it super fun to play squads again, and it was just a very nice experience. Some of the kills that I got, some of the nicer ones anyway, are gonna be in the background. In total we played about maybe like 10 to 15 games, and we actually got 2 or 3 wins from that, which is very, very nice, and it was just a blast playing squads, honestly. And I also have to address something relating to the video. The video is titled, my 1 week progression, and honestly, it's very, very different compared to a lot of other people's. I went into depth about how I trained and stuff like that, but a lot of people just put their footage up, and I wasn't able to do that because I was figuring out my OBS settings. So most of the gameplay comes from the replay mode, which I'm very sorry about, but I needed to get stuff set up and I couldn't wait to play, so I kind of chose the playing part instead of trying to set everything up before I make this video. But anyways, I still hope you guys are enjoying this so far. We've still got a ton of clips to get through, because honestly the games were just so action packed, and some of the clips in here are actually fire, and I can't wait to make more montages and stuff like that. It's honestly so much more enjoyable now than console, and if you are planning to make the switch from console to PC or anything to PC, do it. Honestly, save up your money and give it a go. It is so worth it, but do make sure that you're getting the right parts and you're not getting scammed for your money, because there's a lot of pre-built PCs that go for a large amount of money, and they don't really provide you with enough to actually feel the difference, from going to like 60 frames to 140 plus. Also, if you guys do want to see a montage of me and all my best unreleased clips from PS4 times, because I still have a bunch of footage there waiting to be released that I just kept saving and saving and saving and never getting around to making a montage of it, then I'll definitely drop that very soon. I'll probably title it something like, this is me after playing for 2 years on PS4, because Fortnite has always been the game for me ever since its release. I remember I used to play it with my friends a ton, but the skill-based matchmaking kind of ruined it for me, and the fact that I knew that I was coming up against PC players and I couldn't really do much pretty much made me buy a PC. It's not just that, however, you know, I just wanted the convenience of editing quicker and, you know, having my videos in better resolution and stuff like that. But Fortnite was definitely one of the, you know, more important reasons for the Switch, and I don't know what to think of it, to be honest. I think the game's life cycle is gonna end in a few years. I don't know how long, but every year it just keeps going around that, you know, Fortnite is dead, Fortnite is dying. Yeah, I still see hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions of people still playing the game. Like, I think as long as Epic keeps putting cash into the game, people are gonna stay, and as long as the game is playable, people are gonna play. Like, there's no way people are just gonna leave this game. Like, the diehard fans that have stuck with the company for years aren't just gonna leave. They've invested too much time into this game to just give it up, and that's why I have a feeling Epic is very, very clever with their marketing, and they're pretty much forcing you to buy a PC if you're playing on console and install the Epic Games Store and pretty much give them more and more money. It's very clever, I've got the hint, and guess what? I'm falling for it. And a lot of people are falling for it, but I guess it's just the way of the road at this point, and I've built up a following, like, that's pretty much enough for me to switch to PC, and thank you guys for that, honestly. Like, the support on the channel has been mental recently, and I don't feel that I've thanked you enough for it, but thank you, honestly. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I guess I'm just gonna leave the clips in the background for the rest of the video, because I feel like I'm rambling on at this point and I don't wanna just bore you to death. So just have a look at some of these clips and I'll see you at the end of the video.
Your brother coming. Fuck. I what? I shot them. Fuck. Fuck it. Then I feel like barely anyone would go. Like actual parents would let them go.
And that pretty much wraps it up. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It took me a while to edit and make, and if you did, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and use the code MAXGamer7 in the Fortnite item store if you'd like to support me and the channel at no extra costs whatsoever. But on that note, I'm out. Peace.